camp is teaching kids to become anarchists, creating programs aimed to teach children to overthrow society. Here with me now to discuss, West Coast editor for the Post Millennial and host of the Ari Hoffman Show, Ari Hoffman. Ari, good morning to you. I can't believe I'm asking this question, but what do kids learn at anarchist camp?
I'm surprised I didn't see a class for Molotov cocktails on the listing, but what they do learn is how to be a little activist. What they do learn is how to hate the police. And something else I found fascinating, we saw in the autonomous zone in Seattle the alliance between Antifa and BLM. Well, they're using BLM curriculum materials, in fact, materials that I recognized that are used in Seattle public schools, that were used specifically in those schools and other schools across the country on Martin Luther King Day, where they yanked Martin Luther King out of the curriculum to replace him with Marxist activists, to replace it with trans theory, hypersexualized education, and more. Your child, if they go to this Antifa camp, will be taught how to be a little activist. They'll be taught how to deal with tear gas, how to protest. That's what these parents are sending their kids to.
Yeah, some of the other curriculum, Ari, include, this almost seems fake. I do wonder if this can even be real. Educating kids how to handle being sprayed with tear gas. That's the one that really stuns me. Also learning from Black Lives Matter coloring books, lectures on indigenous land maps, a little primer on police abolition, and being taught from a white supremacy reflection series. This is summer camp for these kids. What does this say? I don't know how popular this is, how many kids go to this, but this does have to say something about the future of our country.
Well, look, Portland right now is controlled by Antifa. They defunded their police. You still have riots on a regular basis. You still have protests on a regular basis. And these people think that they've won. They're doing this out in the open. They're not ashamed of it. They celebrate it when we cover it online or on Fox News or any other channel. They love the attention. They're not ashamed of it at all. And meanwhile, these are the people who spent over 120 consecutive nights in 2020 during the riots attacking federal courthouses. They think they won. They think they're untouchable. And they think nobody's going to do anything about it. And meanwhile, thanks to their efforts to help defund the police and the politicians in Portland who followed up on that initiative, you now have crime spiking through the roof. Homicides are at all-time highs. Crime is at all-time highs. And the quality of life has just gone completely downhill.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not just Portland. It's also Seattle, where you are, San Francisco as well.
Yeah, San Francisco, you know, they have an app right now that actually tells you where the poop is on the street. The last time I went to San Francisco, what I was amazed by was even in the tourist spots, you have the homeless everywhere. You have crime everywhere. Many cities are smart enough to keep it away from the touristy spots, but not San Francisco. Just because they recalled their district attorney, Chesa Boudin, doesn't mean anything's going to get any better. They have a problem on a judicial level. They have jurists who are letting people out of jail, who are giving them light sentences. They have a populace that keeps electing these progressive politicians. And on top of that, they defunded their police department as well. They have less cops than they did beforehand.
Well, you just laid out some of the issues that San Francisco is facing quite nicely. But listen to this. The city is actually spending more than $500,000 on a pilot trash can program, with some of the prototypes costing more than $10,000 a piece. Over $500,000 being spent to test out which trash can is best for the city. Is that really the best use of taxpayer money?
I'll tell you, I'm definitely in the wrong business. I mean, why can't these guys take a model from Disney? Disney has a garbage can every 50 feet. If you're worried about garbage, just follow the Disney model. But also spending $10,000 on these prototypes, spending $3,000 to $5,000 replacing them. Things are so bad in San Francisco right now. The people are leaving their car doors wide open, their windows down, putting notes on the cars that say, please don't break in. If you don't prosecute these smaller quality of life crimes, if you don't prosecute any crimes whatsoever, you're going to continue having these problems, and garbage is going to be the least of their problems.
It truly is unbelievable. All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Pleasure as always. Have a good one.